Excessive heat is continuing to spread across central Missouri. We broke records today. The record-breaking heat will extend into your Thursday. We're going to take a complete look at your forecast coming up.
Waves of heat roll into mid-Missouri. How you can avoid a trip to the emergency room coming up.
The Colorado Springs wildfire triples in size, putting a major city at risk and thousands out of their homes. Could we see something like that in Missouri?
Gas is cheaper there than it is here in Jeff City. So, don't give me the big city thing.
KRCG's most asked question, why is gas cheaper in Columbia than in Jefferson City? We give it another go in finding an answer. KRCG 13 News live at 6 starts now.
Live from across mid-Missouri, this is KRCG 13 live at 6.
Good evening to you. I'm Teresa Snow.
And I'm Kermit Miller. Thanks for joining us. 100-degree heat has hit mid-Missouri.
Columbia even set a record today, and many of you took note of the triple-digit temperatures. Several of you sent us pictures of your car thermometer readings. The average from your photos and your posts on our Facebook page, the thermometers got to 104 degrees today.
In one of our station cars, as you see here in Holt Summit, we recorded 98 degrees at late afternoon. For the latest on the heat warnings and advisories, let's go straight to KRCG 13's Zach Paul.
Definitely a hot afternoon. We did set a record in Columbia today. Officially, it hit 103. The old record was 101. That's twice already in 2012 that we've had triple-digit heat, and all of 2011 we had 3 days. The hottest day was 108. I think we're going to see these temperatures go up as we get into the next 24 hours. You can see a lot of upper 90s, low triple digits right now. The heat index not that much higher, but it is still dangerously hot outside when you factor in just what little bit of humidity is there. Feels like 106 degrees right now in Columbia. There's an excessive heat warning in effect for areas west of Columbia from the lake all the way up to Moberly and west. Otherwise, a heat advisory that's in effect for the remainder of the state till Saturday evening. We're going to talk more detail on your 7-day forecast and what you can expect for this heat coming up.
Thanks, Zach. Well, the sun is beginning to set on a very hot day in central Missouri.
KRCG 13's Daniel Wynn has been checking the impact of the weather in the capital city. He joins us now live from the Memorial Park Aquatic Center. Daniel?
Well, Kermit, if you couldn't be in the air conditioning today, this is the place to be. Take a look at all the kids. They're still here. It's 6 o'clock at night. The pool is packed even more today, but they say it's been the busiest day of the year so far. No surprise with temperatures the way they are, though. But even at the pool, heat can be dangerous. Kids can overexert themselves, dehydration, heat stroke, exhaustion. We talked to the Cole County EMS officials a little earlier today, and they say, watch out for the elderly, pets, the usual. But always, just keep in mind, stay inside and stay cool.
People have been doing pretty good, taking the breaks and drinking a lot of fluids, but the heat exhaustion, that's going to get you. When you're outside working, you start feeling woozy, take a break. Don't try to tough it out because the heat will get you.
Like you said, take small breaks, avoid alcohol, avoid caffeine, and eat smaller meals. At 5, we told you, a few foods that you should watch out for that are water-rich fruits, vegetables, watermelon, celery. Take advantage of those, keep the kids hydrated, and as always, take advantage of the area pool, or if you can't get to the pool, take a cool shower. Whatever you have to do to stay cool, just do it, they say. Reporting live in Jefferson City, Daniel Wynn, KRCG 13 News.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel. Well, the heat was also a factor as nearly every crew available was called out to fight a fire this afternoon on Industrial Drive in Jefferson City.
Firefighters say a small outbuilding used by Mel's Country Cafe for storage caught fire around 3 o'clock. That fire spread to the attached building used by Probst Auto Service. There is significant damage to both buildings. The main part of Mel's Country Cafe is fine. Fire crews say the heat played a big part in fighting that fire.
Well, that's why we called in the additional companies with 94, 96 degrees. The heat's just terrible on our firefighters, trying to rehab them, trying to keep them energized to go back in. So we called in off-duty personnel to help backfill the rest of the city. These temperatures are just very hard on the firefighting efforts and trying to extinguish a fire.
Cause of that fire remains under investigation. A passerby alerted firefighters to the situation.
In Columbia, parts of this house caught fire twice today. Firefighters first responded to the 4000 block of Vermont Court just before 6:30 this morning. When they arrived, the back part of the house was in flames.
They had smoke coming from every eave of the house and the ridge vents of the house, and fire coming from the top of the closed garage door. They were able to breach that garage door, tackle fire in the garage, and extinguish it fairly quickly.
However, 3 hours later, crews were called to the house again, this time for smoke coming from the roof. No one was hurt. Crews are still investigating the cause. Dry weather and high winds are a factor in a massive wildfire in Colorado. Tens of thousands of people are out of their homes tonight in Colorado Springs.
Overnight thunderstorm winds tripled the size of the so-called Waldo Canyon wildfire. Late yesterday, the flames jumped 2 bulldozed fire lines and crossed the last ridge separating the Rocky Mountains from the city's westernmost subdivisions. The wildfire has consumed dozens of homes and a century-old cattle ranch turned western theme park. By daybreak, the 5,000-acre fire had become a 15,000-acre fire with more than 32,000 people evacuated. Remarkably, there have been no deaths nor injuries. Boone County fire officials say wildfire conditions in Colorado are much different than those here in Missouri.
Colorado vegetation is much drier than the growth found here in mid-Missouri. The fire there is also spread because there are more open areas with prairies that allow wildfires to spread quickly. Dry weather and insects have killed many Colorado pine trees, which burn quicker than Missouri's trees. Fire officials say Missourians are more likely to see big grass fires than large wildfires.
Just because we can't have big wildfires like Colorado, it doesn't mean we can't have a big grass fire. And big grass fires can still take over really quickly. They can take over a house, garages, outbuildings, those kind of things very quickly. And, you know, we don't want anybody losing their house because they weren't careful.
Missouri has more natural barriers to stop the spread of wildfires. Colorado has fewer creeks and roads. The same fire prevention methods, though, apply in both locations. Fire officials say people need to be more careful when disposing of cigarettes and fireworks during dry conditions.
New information since KRCG 13 Live at noon. A third man wanted for a weekend home invasion is now behind bars. Boone County deputies arrested Neil Henry this morning. Officers last night also found Felson Barney in Columbia. They arrested him after a brief foot chase near North Garth. Henry and Barney joined Joshua Wisham in the Boone County Jail, all three accused of breaking into the Fenora Oaks apartment Sunday night and robbing the occupants of cash and their cell phones. At this time, only Wisham faces a robbery charge in connection with the incident. 2 Russellville residents are in jail accused of beating a toddler. On Monday, a hotline call brought deputies to the apartment of Lexi Miller and Chad Elliott. They reported finding a 2-year-old boy with a golf ball-sized knot on his forehead, a cut under his chin, red marks on his face, and bruising on his arms and back. Miller told DFS workers the injuries happened when she punished the child for not listening to her. A witness told officers Chad Elliott had beaten the toddler with a belt and a kitchen spoon.
A 911 sales tax will be on the November ballot for Boone County voters. Members of the county's Joint Communications Task Force made the announcement late this afternoon. This tax would pay for a larger center that could house more staff and improve 911 services. County officials say a sales tax increase would allow everyone in Boone County to pay for the upgrades. The exact amount of the sales tax isn't ready. It could be, though, a quarter cent.
Well, the old record for the area was 101 degrees. Today it was 103. Again, going back 32 years to the summer of 1980. The all-time record high in the month of June, 105 degrees. I'm thinking that's going to be broken tomorrow with temperatures probably tying, if not seeing around 106, starting off next week. Tonight's weather hot shot submitted to us by Crystal Schultz from Lynn. Something you might not have seen in a while. Overcast skies. I thought that was an appropriate picture to show up there tonight. They're seeing that we could use some cloud cover to help break from the heat and maybe give us a little bit of hope of some rain.
Last time I looked, I did not see a cloud anywhere.
It's far and few between at this point.
I think. Thanks.
Yep.
Well, it is a question that countless viewers have asked KRCG over the years. Why does gas cost more in Jefferson City than in Columbia?
Today we took that question to AAA and also found out why there is some good gas news for everyone in Missouri this week. That's next on KRCG 13, live at 6.
Here's a little good news. The price of gasoline dropped a bit this week.
AAA says gas is at its lowest price in 5 months, but some Jefferson City residents doubt that. KRCG 13's Mike DeFranco tells us why.
If you're a driver, it's always welcome news.
Gas prices haven't been this low in 5 months. AAA says the national average is just below $3.40 for a gallon of regular.
But for many in Jefferson City, they're not buying all the talk about low gas prices.
I think they're ridiculous. My personal opinion, the pipeline's right here in town. You can go down to the lake, you can go up to Columbia. Coming out of the same pipeline, they're trucking it that far. We're paying anywhere from 15 to 20 cents a gallon more here in Jeff City, and have been for the last 5 years.
There's a website called MissouriGasPrices.com, and on it you can compare prices from across the state. Let's take Columbia and Jeff City here as an example. Columbia's in agreement with a $3.17 to $3.28 price range. Jump down to Jeff City, it's a $3.28 to $3.40 price range. A significant difference, and it leaves many people asking, what gives?
Officials with AAA say there is a logical reason for the price difference.
If the community is waiting for its supply of gasoline to arrive, whereas the one down the road 30, 40 miles away have already received it, that could account for some of the price differences from one community to the next, as well as just how extensive the competition situation might be.
Stan was a truck driver for 38 years, and he knows from experience that Jefferson City gasoline is some of the most expensive in the state.
Go to Kansas City, Missouri. Go to St. Louis. Gas is cheaper there than it is here in Jeff City. So, don't give me the big city thing.
Mike DeFranco, KRCG 13 News, Jefferson City.
Despite common suspicions, AAA says there is no evidence of collusion or price fixing. Now, according to the website MissouriGasPrices.com, Jefferson City does not have the most expensive gas in the state. You'll find that in the Kansas City area. Here are the numbers. The cheapest gas is in the St. Louis area.
Well, the Cardinals, they try to sweep the fish,
while the Royals have a chance to sweep the Rays. Rod's in later with sports.
A good week for the Royals and Redbirds so far. Both Missouri Major League teams winning on Monday and Tuesday. Both a chance to sweep today.
Thanks. We're back after this.
A very hot 102 right now in Columbia. By 10 o'clock tonight, temperatures will fall back into the lower 80s. For the capital, also 102. Once again, down to around 83 degrees by 10 o'clock tonight. And for the lake, not as cool, down to 88 by 10 o'clock this evening.
It's going to be a long summer, isn't it?
It is very long, yeah.
That's our report. We thank you for joining us.
We'll see you at 10.